What is going on, everybody? And you are watching Result Report. Here we're ready to talk about the MLB, and you might want to see the Braves. They're playing hot right now. And also, are the Padres ready for a big second half? Along with many good American League teams could end up missing the postseason. More on that with Result Report next. To get started, I'm your host, Isaac here, and we are going to start with the best team in the MLB. Ooh, you think it's the Rays, but it's actually the Atlanta Braves right now. They were 21-4 in June, and they're 61-31 overall. They started 32-23, but since then they've been incredible, winning 29 of their last 37 games. And they just actually lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox. This might be the beginning of starting to lose a little bit more. Last season, the Padres were actually pretty good. They made it to the NLCS. They had a great regular season, great postseason. But right now, they are actually struggling with a losing record. They've had that losing record for a pretty long time this year, and I think they're bound for the second half, definitely. I even have them making the playoffs, and that's a spoiler alert for the end of the video. But I just think they're ready. I just think they're poised to have a big second half. Then I'd say the best division is the American League East, and they have a huge battle right now. And it's starting with the Rays, who started 13-0, which is perfect. And they are trailed by the Orioles, who are just 2 games back. And I think they're going to win that division. They're under the radar. No one's talking about them. And they're the hottest team in the MLB right now, I'd say, other than the Braves. Then followed by the Toronto Blue Jays, who as of right now would be securing the 5th wild card, the second wild card spot out of 3, and that may be enough to get them to the divisional round. We'll see if they have to play better right now. And then the next is the Red Sox, actually, who finished 78-84 last year. And now they are 51-44 right now. They're playing so well right now. 10-2 in the month of July. And that's the best in the MLB. Better than the Braves, better than the Orioles, better than everybody. And you also know that the All-Star break has been going on. And then 5th is actually the Yankees, who have struggled with injuries this year. They have Josh Donaldson, who will likely be done for the season. I'd say the Yankees are better without him, though. Struggling, batting 142, and he's had 15 hits. 10 of them have actually been home runs. Wow. And then they have Aaron Judge, he's phenomenal, maybe the best batter in the MLB, and he hit 62 home runs last season, which is the American League record, and he has been injured and he hasn't played since June 3rd against the Dodgers, so be ready for him to come back sometime soon and maybe make a big move. The Yankees are 5th place in division, 1 game behind the Red Sox at 50-45, and I honestly think they could end up really making a run in the postseason. Somebody's got to win the AL Central. The division is terrible, with the leader right now being Minnesota Twins at 48-47. And the second is the Guardians, 46-48. But the rest of the division is awful. One of those two is going to win the division. And they have underachieved, definitely. They're supposed to be really good, especially Carlos Correa, who Minnesota re-signed in a crazy thing over that. And they've just been terrible this year. So I'm shocked to see, especially with Cleveland. They were 92-70 last season, and currently they're 46-48. The rest of the division, maybe the White Sox are going to try to do something. They should be a lot better. Every year they're supposed to be pretty good, and then they just fail. So I want you to comment down below who's going to win the AL Central to see if it's the Guardians or Twins. Maybe the Tigers, White Sox, or Royals. If you look at those standings up there, definitely not Kansas City. Can NL surprises find their way to the postseason? All these questions, by the way, I want you to comment it just so I can know your opinion. That's what I'm talking about like the NL surprises, like the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, the Giants, all those teams like that. And especially how they've just been, they were like 90 lost teams last year. Maybe not the Giants, they were like 500. But still, they've been amazing. The Giants may not even make the playoffs is the thing. Them and the Phillies are going to be battling out, and the Phillies got hot at the right time last year, made it to the World Series, lost to Houston, who was even hotter if you think about it, really, statistically. But I think winning the World Series, it all comes down to who's playing hot at the right time. Sometimes you don't even get out of the wild card round, though. Like, so you could be the best team in the league and get swept in the division series. Why? The other team was hot at the right time. There are going to be many good American League teams missing the postseason this year. The Angels are good, but they never make the playoffs. They have so many talented players. And they also had Albert Pujols, who's a Hall of Famer. He had 700 home runs. And, like, everyone's forgetting about how they had him. He was pretty good. But now they have Ohtani, Trout. Those are two of the three best players in the MLB. So you got to do better. You also have Seattle, who's just always been a good team, really, but they can't ever really do something in the playoffs that much. They got really close against Houston, actually. If you think about it, they blew a big lead in Game 1. They had a lead in Game 2. It was just they didn't come out at the right time. Game 3 went to 18 innings. But it's going to take time for them to get used to it. They are the only team to never make a World Series. Then the Yankees may miss. As of right now, they would be missing, and they spend so much money. They have such a good roster, except it's never enough, really, to win a World Series. The Blue Jays, I actually think they're going to make the postseason is the thing here. And they're barely going to make it, but they haven't ever made it to the division series so far. Cleveland here is, like I was talking about with the Twins in Cleveland, one of them is going to miss the playoffs, one of them is actually going to make it. But they're actually very underperforming teams this year. The Rangers, I think they're probably going to make it, but I don't know about winning the division anymore. It all comes down to experience. The Astros, they might miss, but I don't see any way they're not going to miss it in this situation. Can the Reds secure a playoff spot? After starting like 9 games below 500, they called up a guy from the minors named Ellie De La Cruz, and now all of a sudden he's absolutely amazing. And now the Reds are 50-44. They were winning the division heading into the All-Star break. However, they have not performed well since coming out of the All-Star break and starting the second half. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs or anything at that. I think that the Brewers are going to win the division, but it's up to you guys. You comment and I want to see what you think. Last, we have the World Series and the playoff picks. MLB playoffs are so fun. I may even make a video about like finding a baseball song and then kind of like a one shining moment, but for baseball. The seedings, I have the 1 seed, the American League, 1 seed Baltimore, 2 Houston, 3 seed the Twins, 4 the Rays, 5 Rangers, and 6 the Yankees. No, I'm replacing that with Toronto. Toronto is better than the Yankees. National League. First I have the Braves, second the Dodgers, then Milwaukee at third, Marlins fourth, Padres fifth, and Arizona at seed number 6, securing the last spot. So that means I have the Giants and the Phillies missing. Everyone's forgetting about the Padres. I think they're definitely going to have a great second half and do something, not in the playoffs, but do something to make the playoffs. So I have the Yankees sweeping the Twins in the first round, in the wild card round. The Yankees are not Yankees. Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are going to sweep the Twins. The Twins aren't even that good anyway. They are only making the playoffs because their division is so bad. And then I have the Rays sweeping the Rangers. The Rays just have some playoff experience. They don't have a ton of it, but they have some of it. And the Rangers have none, except for Corey Seager and stuff like that. Like he was great. He was great with the Dodgers, but he doesn't. This team is inexperienced. Then I have in the divisional round, I have Houston winning against Toronto 3-1 in the best of 5 series, and then the Orioles beating the Rays 3-2. Then I have the Orioles winning the ALCS 4-2 against the Astros, which puts them in the World Series. Speaking of how a couple years ago they lost 110 games. So that now puts us in the National League, where I should lead us. Then Arizona, I think, will beat Milwaukee. Arizona is just a better team than the Diamondbacks. What? They're a better team than the Brewers, so I think they'll win it in 3 games. Then I have Miami sweeping the Padres. Sometimes, like, you finish well, but you don't have but you can't play well in the playoffs. Second, the second seed, the Dodgers would sweep the Diamondbacks in the division series. The Diamondbacks have no experience at all. It's going to come down to experience. The Dodgers have a ton of it, and the Diamondbacks have none. Then the Braves, I'd have them barely beating the Marlins in the divisional series in 5 games, so that would be an epic game 5 to watch. Then I have the Dodgers actually beating the Braves in 7 to advance to the World Series. So I have the Orioles against the Dodgers. And our World Series champion is, drumroll please, the Baltimore Orioles in 6. I think they're so much under the radar. They're a serious contender. They don't have that much experience either, but it's just that they are ready to, like, they're poised to come out of it. Adley Rutschman, coming from the minors, gets an all-star appearance. Then Cedric Mullins has had a great season. What's his name? Ryan Mountcastle. This Orioles roster is just so young. They've rebuilt it. They've done the exact opposite of what some other teams are doing. The Yankees and Dodgers are just trying too hard. You can't just buy everything and think it's gonna give you a championship. You need to take time. You look at the Rays, how good they've been. They've rebuilt it. Everyone's rebuilding. Except now these teams are just making their dumb decisions, trying too hard. It's not going to work. It may have worked in the past, like with the Yankees winning 27 championships. No, that ain't going to work today. They got to rebuild their team or something like that. That concludes our result report video about the MLB. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment to stay up to date with our channel. I saw some of you commented that you want 2K videos. I will do that if we reach 500 subscribers. Win-win there. Oh yeah, and I get monetized. So win-win. And make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Leave all these comments to stay up to date with our channel, and so I know you're actually checking in. And I'm Isaac, your host, and peace out.